The saying goes, the man plants and God laughs. Warriors, thanks for tuning into another video. We all have to make changes at times. We all cast vision, we all make plans, we set goals, and before we know it, we've got to adapt because things happen. Things we didn't expect to happen, they happen. And so right now with the business, there's been a couple changes I want to talk about. Also, an injury popped up and now we're changing the fitness goals. But that's the reality of life. We just adapt and we keep going. Also in this video, this vlog, so to speak, I want to show you the logo that we've picked out for the business, and I want you to give me some insight and some input on the colors that we're trying to choose between. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get after it. All right, it is Sunday night and I want to show you what's going on. It's around 4:30 and we are about to have some folks come over, and we're really going to put some gasoline on the fire for Armor Bands, which is the business that I'm creating. I really want to get this up and running for people with ostomies, so we need to put some time into it. What I'm learning very quickly is that a couple hours a week is no longer gonna cut it. When it's just an idea, a concept, and you're just brainstorming, yeah, minimal time. But now we're trying to finalize a product, we're trying to figure out marketing, we're trying to figure out a website that's gonna get launched. All these pieces have to be connected, and a couple hours here and there doesn't do it. So we're about to work on it, and I wanna show you what we're working on, so let's go. All right, so we wrapped up after 4 hours of hard work. We went hard from 5 to 9 on a Sunday night. So here's exactly what we did. We were focused mostly on a customer journey map. We wanted to go through from beginning to end what a customer might experience. That was everything from how are they becoming aware of us? What's our strategy to gain awareness? Through social media, through doctors and hospitals. And then once we gain awareness, what is the map from consideration to purchase to online experience? Literally everything, shipping, delivering, unboxing. We wanted to go through what might a customer experience with us at Armor Bands. There were several diagrams, right? Like option 1, 2, and then sub options, right? This was a 4-hour process, took lots of time, energy, but we got a lot of questions answered. I feel confident we have a clearer direction of how we want to help people, how we're going to accomplish it. And then we ended the night by talking about the 4 main categories. We've got the product development, branding and marketing, the website, and fulfillment. Those are the 4 key areas where we have lots of to-dos and tasks. And we kind of said, here's what we need to get done in December. We've got 3 weeks left in the month. What do we need to get done so we can hopefully go live at the end of Q1? All right, good morning, everyone. It is Monday morning, bright and early. I'm trying to keep my voice down because everybody's still upstairs sleeping. I just wrapped up some time studying the Bible, reading, praying. My goal as of late has been to wake up around 4:30 a.m. And then I come downstairs, I drink some coffee, and I come down here and in my mind, I've blocked off from 5 to 6 to read, pray, study. And then at 6, which it just hit 6:02, at 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock, that's my window to go work out. I'm not bringing this up to brag, and I'm not bringing up to say you have to wake up at 4:30. But what I've found, and I think most people end up realizing, is that if you want to prioritize something in your life, especially if you have a family and a spouse, you need to do it before they're awake. Once they're awake, it is hard to pull away on a consistent basis. It's hard for me to come home from work and work out at night. I can do that occasionally, but not consistently. So right now, with my fitness, my faith, and then even the business, I've got to do it before my day really gets going. So it's 6:03, it's workout time. Let's go get a workout in. All right, heading out into the gym. It is currently 3 degrees outside. And can you see my, maybe you can't see my breath. Anyway, 3 degrees outside. Some people would ask me, why don't you just go to a gym? Well, every decision's intentional, or as intentional as it can be, because that would take time for me to drive there, drive back, and that's, I don't know, even in the car, that's 20 to 30 minutes of wasted time that I could be here. So it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And I don't share that it's 3 degrees outside because I want to be hard and look crazy. And no, it's just, this is a part of being committed to something. All right, it was just too cold outside to be out there for the whole workout. So I put in 20 minutes outside. My fingertips were getting a little numb. So I did the smart thing. I'm just gonna do a couple push-ups in here to get to the 30-minute mark and then be done. This video is about adapting. This is adapting in real time. You can't control the circumstances, but you can control how you respond. Make some progress. It may not be the progress I wanted it to make, but fall forward, make some progress. This is the new office. Spent about a decade at Fidelity. Now I work for a new wealth management firm, and we just renovated our office. Actually, we just moved across the hall and completely redid this. I mean, look at the attention to detail, the woodwork, the tile work. Glass everywhere. This place is beautiful. All right, so now it is Monday night and it is quick story time. So it's December 15th. On December 15th, 2021, I was coming home from my first surgery. I went into the hospital on December 3rd. I had my first surgery on December 8th, and I was in the hospital all the way up until December 15th, just recovering. It was a very real moment, very real concern for Casey and I of, am I gonna get to be home for Christmas? We had a two-year-old at home, we had a 6-month-old at home, and we just wanted to be home for Christmas. And, you know, we're sitting there day after day, waiting, and then I'm recovering from surgery, and there's just a lot of emotions. I didn't get to see my kids for that 2-week period of time. I was in Columbus. They were in the northern Kentucky area. Just very hard. So this day, 4 years ago, I came home, and I'm a different man, right? I came home with an ostomy, and you know, life hasn't been the same since. And I think as I reflect on that day, the thought that comes to my mind is just the tension that can exist between blessing and pain. It's very much a blessing that I had surgery. It's a blessing that I have an ostomy because I'm still here. I get to be with my family. I'm still alive. But there's a tension there because it's a thorn in my side. It's a pain that I live with every 10 minutes, every hour, every day. It's an inconvenience to my life. It's hard. It's distracting. So there's this tension that exists between blessing and pain sometimes. And I think a lot of times we want to just, it's one or the other. But some of the biggest blessings in our life come through painful seasons, and I'm a testimony to that. So that's story time today. I'd love to share more details, more from that, 12, 13 days in the hospital. Changed my life, but I'm here, and it's given me a completely different perspective on life. So thanks for letting me share. What are we doing?
Throwing snowballs with the basketball.
Hold that arm out.
All right, it is Thursday morning, and this week has not gone the way I wanted to, right? When I started this video, when I started this weekly vlog, I did not know that the week was going to unfold this way, which is kind of ironic because the theme of this video is adapting and making adjustments when things don't go the way you expected. So in real time, I've been experiencing that. So anyway, it's not been the week I wanted to from a workout perspective. Have not been working out very consistently, but it's time to weigh in. And so I just weighed myself, and this is part of my goal now. Because the running is on the back burner because of my knee, I'm focusing more on muscle strength training and some of those goals. Now I would have been doing that anyway, but now we're just focusing and going all in on that. So one of my goals is to get my body fat percent down to about 10 to 13%. Probably in college, it hovered in that 10 to 15% range. But with all the stuff, going on with surgeries and all this stuff, it's kind of been everywhere. Right now, I just weighed in this morning. Let's take a peek. At 178.4 pounds, 19.3% body fat. So not bad. I mean, not bad at all. But I would love to be a little bit more lean, a little more defined, and be in that probably 10 to 13% range. I don't know what that'll mean for my weight. We'll see what that means, but body fat percent. And then the other thing I want to do is add some size to my chest. I want a bigger chest, and I know that's vain, but I want a bigger chest. So I measure my muscles because I think it's important to track things. If it's important to you, you should track it. I take annual snapshots of all our finances. I track our finances. I track my running. You track progress, not because you want to get disappointed all the time and get discouraged, but because you want to see the progress. A lot of times you're making small progress and there's small wins, but you don't see it and you get discouraged. So you got to track it so you can go and look and say, you know what, last week I was running, or I should say last month I was running, 4 miles a week. Now I'm running, 4.5. That's progress, but you got to track it so you stay encouraged. And so that's what I do here is I just take measurements of my chest, my biceps, my waist, and then my thighs. I'm not measuring like everything, but you get the point. So I just measured my chest and it was 40.5 inches. For context, when I got this device and started measuring in May of 24, so that's about 18 months ago, my chest was 37.7. So it's grown about 3 inches in about 18 months. I want to see if I can grow my chest another 2 to 3 inches in the next 12 months. So that's the goal. Bigger chest, leaner, less body fat, more goals to come. We'll start there. So this is just further evidence of how crazy the week's been and where my mind has been and where my focus has been. First of all, I didn't meal prep on Sunday like I almost always do. But I went to the store and I got some chicken and I was going to meal prep for the second half of the week. And last night I smoked a bunch of chicken thighs and then got distracted with what's going on in life right now and never put it in the fridge. So that's going to be going in the garbage. All right, it is Saturday night and I want to reveal the logo. The way we chose this logo is we took about 8 to 10 different options and we put them on the wall and we voted. There was about 4 or 5 of us and we voted on our top 3. And as we were gathering the votes, it was very quickly we realized that this was the one we were going with. We all liked it. We all had it basically in our top 2. It's a very strong logo and I want to show it to you. So let's show you. So this is the logo. I love it. And there's so much symbolism. I wish I could say all the symbolism was thought out in advance, but it's just come together and it's very, very solid. So Armor Bands is the company name, right? And the idea is that armor protects you. So this band helps protect, it helps conceal, right? And it's kind of something a warrior would have as armor. And right, I want people to think like with that warrior mindset. The slogan is "Go Live Again." My goal with this company is I want to help people go live again. I want them to go on dates again. I want them to go, on hikes and workouts and run races. And I want them to go to work feeling confident. I want them to go live again. Too many times people with ostomies, they live lives that are kind of shrunken back, and they try to hide themselves and kind of blend in, and they don't want to stand out. And I want people to go live a full life again. Go explore, go live. So really love that, and I can say that I definitely came up with that. That's yours truly here. Now I love the shield, right? We talked about that, but this right here is like symbolic of the band, right? That people would have around their waist. Think of like a belt, like a 5-inch like belt made of fabric. That's what this band is. It goes around your waist. It holds your ostomy supplies in place. So this is kind of like, it looks like that. And then I love that it's breaking through, right? So it's like breaking through containment, right? We all need those breakthroughs in life, right? Where we're breaking out of this old mentality where we're going to be living concealed life, and we're breaking through, and we're going to go attack life, and we're going to go fight for a full life. So it's like that breakthrough. Also, I love that it's starting in the bottom left and it's going up to the right. Like that symbolizes progress, right? Up and to the right, the stock market, right? Like we all want our lives going that direction. So I love that symbolism. And then my mother-in-law pointed this out. These little gray accents, they give the feel of action when you look at it. It adds a nice element. Also, it kind of looks like scars. And with this company, like we all have scars, and I want people to share their scars. So like I don't want your scars to make you feel embarrassed. I want us all to realize we all have scars. They might look a little different, and that pain and those obstacles we have to overcome, they might be a little different, but we all have scars, and it makes us human. And now we have to overcome them. And the best way to do that, or one of the better ways to do that, is to share with people so we can encourage each other, we can inspire each other. And so it's kind of like little scars. Now, when we get this logo printed on fabric on the actual band, I'm not sure we'll be able to have that level of detail, like those little scars. It might become too much because it'll be like a black and white logo when it's on fabric. So what it will look like when it's on fabric is most likely this, right? We'll remove that. But any good company has the same logo in multiple iterations. So here's without the slogan. Here's just the symbol. Here's more of a horizontal look instead of a vertical look. Here's just the slogan. No picture, just font. So we are trying our best to make this, we want it to feel like a professional, well thought out brand. And it's just us in our house doing our best to put this together. And so I'm really thrilled and excited to share that with you. I want your feedback on this. So I'm going to show you 2 color schemes that we're thinking through. And I feel in my heart I already know which one, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. So comment below. So the first one I'll show you is right here. This is an army green with an orange accent. So army green to me is like a fighter. This is it's a war color. It's a battle color. That's why I have an army green watch band, an army green color ring. It makes me think of the fact that I need to wake up and I need a battle, right? We have to fight for a full life. It doesn't just happen. We have to go fight for it. And so I want this company to kind of have that thought process. So army green, like a dark green, and then orange, just a nice pop of color. They look well together. And then obviously you would have white as well. You could, instead of doing orange, you could do yellow, but I think orange looks better than say yellow. But there's yellow. It looks good. Maybe it looks too Boy Scouty, but I like the orange. Here's the other one. The other color pattern that we've thought of is the red, orange, yellow, kind of like the colors in fire. The fire is hot. It's passionate. Like, I want you to live a passionate life. And so we would do red and orange, maybe some yellow with obviously black and white. Now, the problem with any color scheme is there's tons of companies out there already using these colors. So you look at like red and yellow, you're like, well, McDonald's or MasterCard or whatever. It's like, of course, these colors are already being used by lots of companies. So it's, what do we want our company to be? And so comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. That's the logo. All right, now in the clip at the very beginning of the video, you probably noticed that I said I want to be shipping these bands out to people at the end of Q1. Well, I'm learning very quick that as an entrepreneur starting a company, things can change very quickly. And so within the past week and a half or so, we got some news from our design team, our manufacturing team, and the time frame has changed. And so that's part of the adaptation we have to make as a business, right? We're sitting here creating a website, doing all these things. We're sprinting, thinking we're launching March 1st, maybe April 1st. And with the news that I got relatively recently, it sounds as if we are going to be looking more at a July 1st launch. And that might be pushing it. It might be August. So over just one phone call, things got pushed back a whole 3 months. And that's not the design team's fault or anything. It's just me learning and having better expectations. I thought I had good expectations, but I got more detail and more understanding. And obviously yeah, so we're just learning. But so now there's a temptation to be really discouraged that, man, things are pushed back 3 months. But I'm choosing to see that as a blessing and choosing to see, you know what, that's 3 more months where we get to start to share this story, this vision, and we get to hopefully gather a bigger audience to share the news with. And so we're gonna go really hard in that time, and we're not gonna be discouraged. We're gonna use it wisely, and we're gonna try to grow this social following so that we can tell this story and share this journey with more and more people. So I'm excited, but that's life. You get news, you have to make adjustments and adapt all the time. And I'm choosing to see it as a blessing rather than get discouraged and just get stuck. So I wish I could say I did that every time, but I don't. I'm doing it this time. But anyway,